Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Dear students, Assalamu alaikum. I am Amana khatoon, Assistant Professor, Department of Botanical and Environmental Sciences, Cohort University of Science and Technology, Cohort. Today we are going to discuss about the ozone layer formation and depletion. The main topics include what is ozone, its chemical composition, and where does ozone layer exist. Then we'll discuss about the ozone formation and ozone depletion. In the end, we'll discuss about the benefits of ozone and harmful effects of ozone. What is ozone? The word ozone is derived from the Greek word ozine, meaning to smell. Ozone has a pungent odor that allows ozone to be detected even in very low amounts. Ozone is an allotrope of oxygen that is naturally present in our atmosphere, and chemically the ozone molecule contains 3 oxygen atoms. It has a chemical formula of O3. So dear students, this is actually the allotrope of oxygen with 3 oxygen atoms in one molecule. The next, where do ozone layer exist? Before going into the details of this topic, we must understand the stratification of the atmosphere. Dear students, our atmosphere consists of 4 layers. The first layer, that is the troposphere. This is the first layer from the earth crust to the 10 km above. Next to the troposphere, the other layer, that is the stratosphere, and next to stratosphere the layer is mesosphere and then thermosphere. From all these 4 layers, the stratosphere is actually the layer of ozone. Here ozone layer exists, meaning thereby that ozone layer exists from 10 km to the 50 km above the earth crust. Existence of ozone layer in the stratosphere. In stratosphere, there is about 90% of atmospheric ozone contained in the ozone layer, which shields us from harmful ultraviolet light from the sun. Here we can see that in the stratosphere, ozone layer is present, and from the sunlight we know that many radiations are there, and in those radiations, ultraviolet radiations are very much harmful to all the living organisms on the planet Earth. And this layer, in the stratosphere, the ozone layer actually absorbs those ultraviolet radiations, and so here we can see that ozone layer is acting as shield. Ozone formation. The general scheme for the ozone formation includes: this is the oxygen atom, means it's mono-oxygen. It reacts with the molecular oxygen, this is the diatomic oxygen, and as a result it produces triatomic molecule of the oxygen, that is the ozone molecule. Chemically, we'll discuss the ozone formation separately in the stratosphere and in the troposphere. In the stratosphere, sunlight breaks apart one oxygen molecule to produce 2 oxygen atoms, and each atom combines with an oxygen molecule to produce an ozone molecule. Here we can see this is the oxygen molecule. We know these 2 oxygen atoms are bound together through a covalent bond, and the covalent bond needs high energy to be split. And this high energy is actually provided by the ultraviolet sunlight, and as a result the covalent bond between these 2 oxygen atoms is splitted, and as a result 2 oxygen radicals are there. Now dear students, we know that the radical oxygen, they are very reactive, they are highly reactive, and now they can react with any other molecule and disturb them. So in this case, these 2 radicals will react with the molecular oxygen. This one is the molecular oxygen, diatomic oxygen, and as a result they will produce triatomic oxygen, that is the ozone. So we can see here that through ultraviolet sunlight the ozone molecule is formed. Ozone formation in troposphere. Near Earth's surface, ozone is produced in chemical reactions involving naturally occurring gases and gases from pollution sources. These sources include hydrocarbon and nitrogen oxide gases requiring sunlight, and next one is the fossil fuel combustion. We know this is the primary pollution source for tropospheric ozone production. So that was actually about the ozone formation. Now we'll discuss about how ozone is depleted. Ozone depletion was first time discovered in the mid-1970s. It was discovered that actually chlorofluorocarbon, the CFCs, and other halogens are ozone depleting substances, ODS, that are mainly responsible for man-made chemical ozone depletion. So basically, CFCs and other halogens are the main cause of the ozone depletion. A general scheme for the ozone depletion is, here we can see these are the CFCs, means chlorofluorocarbon, and through the UV light, the high energy light, ultraviolet radiations, this chlorofluorocarbon molecule is plated, and as a result a free chlorine radical is formed. Now in step 2, we know this free chlorine radical, it's highly reactive. So this causes the chlorine atom to break away, yielding a carbon radical and a chlorine radical. And in the next step, the chlorine radical collides with an ozone molecule, and then the chlorine radical steals an oxygen atom to form chlorine monoxide and an oxygen molecule. We can see here now one oxygen atom is with chlorine, forming the chlorine monoxide and leaving behind the oxygen molecule. Now ozone has been depleted. The ozone molecule has been split into one oxygen molecule and one monoxide chlorine. The main steps involving the depletion of stratospheric ozone are: number 1, the emission. Halogen source gases are emitted at Earth's surface by human activities and natural processes. This will lead towards the accumulation of these gases, and then the transport of these gases. Halogen source gases are transported to the stratosphere by air motion. Because of the air currents, all these halogen gases are moved towards the upper region, that is the stratosphere, and then conversion. Most halogen source gases are converted in the stratosphere to reactive halogen gases in a chemical reaction involving ultraviolet radiation from the sun. We know the ultraviolet radiation are in high concentration in the stratosphere. The next step, the chemical reactions. Reactive halogen gases causes chemical depletion of the stratospheric total ozone over the globe except at the tropical latitudes. Polar stratospheric cloud increase ozone depletion by reactive halogen gases, causing severe ozone loss in the polar region in winter and spring. Removal of CFCs. Air containing reactive halogen gases returns to the troposphere, and these gases are removed from the air by moisture in clouds and rain. Now the ozone hole. Dear students, I think we have heard this term many times, the ozone hole, but what actually the ozone hole is? The most severe and most surprising ozone loss was discovered to be over Antarctica. It's commonly called the ozone hole because the ozone depletion is so large and localized. So this is a pictorial representation of the ozone hole. This is the whole globe. This is the whole planet Earth. And the ozone concentration, we can see here the region. The minimum ozone concentration is represented by the purplish color, while the maximum ozone concentration is here represented by the dark brown color. So we can see here these are the polar regions, and here the ozone concentration is minimum. Here the ozone layer is very much thin, and this is the point that is known as the ozone hole. At the polar region, this point is known as the ozone hole because here the ozone layer is very much thin. Ozone, whether it's good or bad. Now this is a question, and this is a very interesting question, that at some areas, in some layers of the atmosphere, ozone is good, and in some areas, ozone is bad as a pollutant. Ozone in the stratosphere absorbs some of the sun's biologically harmful ultraviolet radiation, and because of this beneficial role, stratospheric ozone is considered good ozone. In contrast, ozone at Earth's surface that is formed from the pollutants is considered as the bad ozone because it can be harmful to humans, plants and animal life. This is a pictorial presentation of whether ozone is good or bad. Here we can see this is the Earth, and here is the living organisms, and this is the troposphere, and this layer is the stratosphere, that is actually the layer of ozone. And we can see here from the sunlight, UV radiation, various kinds of UV radiation, UVA and UVB, and we know that UVB are very much harmful to the living organism on the planet Earth, and this UVB is absorbed by the ozone layer. So in this way, ozone here is very good, beneficial. This is the good ozone because it's protecting the Earth from this harmful UVB radiation. Here are a few points about the benefits of ozone. If not absorbed, UVB would reach Earth's surface and may cause risk of skin cancer, cataracts, suppressed immune system and premature aging of the skin. So ozone is saving us from all these problems. So these are the benefits of ozone. Other benefits include that if UVB is not absorbed by the ozone layer, that what will happen? That it will damage terrestrial plant life, single-cell organism and aquatic ecosystems, and the absorption of UVB radiation by ozone is a source of heat in the stratosphere, and this helps to maintain the stratosphere as a stable region of atmosphere with temperatures increasing with altitude. As a result, ozone plays a key role in controlling the temperature structure of Earth's atmosphere. Harmful effects of ozone. We have discussed that there are harmful effects of ozone also when it is present on the troposphere, the layer that is next to the Earth crust. Ozone formed near the Earth's surface in natural chemical reaction and in reactions caused by the presence of human-made pollutant gases is harmful and called bad ozone. Increased level of ozone are generally harmful to living systems because ozone reacts strongly to destroy or alter many other molecules. Excessive ozone exposure reduces crop yields and forest growth, and in humans, ozone exposure can reduce lung capacity, cause chest pain, throat irritation and coughing, and worsen pre-existing health conditions related to heart and lungs. So it not only causes many other problems, but it also aggravates many other existing problems that are related with the heart and lungs. So dear students, that was all about the ozone layer formation and depletion. Here are few references and recommended books which you can discuss further for more details. Thank you very much.